Welcome back to Hopped Up Beer Review. Today, we're going to be drinking Cellarman's Revenge. It's a single hop IPA from Martin House Brewing Company out of Fort Worth, Texas. Thanks for joining us. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Hopped Up Beer Review, the show where we give you our unprofessional, somewhat biased opinion about the beer that we are drinking and reviewing. Back to do that once again. Be sure to like, subscribe, cheers, that notification bell. It is free to do, and we would appreciate it. I've got Andy in the attic. I've got Jay. I'm Ben. What are we drinking today?
It's a big beer. It's the Cellarman's Revenge.
Very interesting can art, to say the least.
Good.
Bless you, Jay.
Anytime.
All right.
I muted for the benefit of everyone involved.
Yep. Or did you? Or did I just mute for you after post-production?
Could have.
Yeah. All right. Yes, this is the big boy can. Everything's bigger in Texas, they say. That's where the can came from.
Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates.
Ooh.
It's a little much for you, Ben. 19.2 ounces of it.
Don't you dare pour this down the drain. The Cellarman's Revenge is actually, I guess you could say, a series because they do it with a single hop. It's a single hop IPA, American style IPA. This one that we're trying is the Mosaic variant of theirs. It's at 8%. And as Jay said, 19.2 ounces. There's a lot of it.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Sorry, I get the yawns.
We bore him.
I know we're boring you, Andy. I'm sorry.
Martin House Brewing Company is out of Fort Worth, Texas. It's a regional brewery that was founded in 2013. They get their name, Martin House, from their last name, which is Martin. The main founder, his last name's Martin. He also has family that's working at the brewery with him. Their mascot is the Purple Martin. Let's see. Purple Martins are one of the few birds that live in family groups. So it was kind of cool. In fact, family worked together. That Martin's their last name. That was pretty cool. They are the largest self-distributed brewery in Texas.
Interesting.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, and we started seeing them. You guys saw them around the same time I did. Middle of last year, 2024, maybe.
I don't get them up here.
Yeah, probably about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe early fall.
Yeah, spring, summer of.
No, we get always probably summer to early fall for us.
Okay.
Yeah. I
don't think I've had a Martin House before.
Yeah, I've had a few of their beers because they've had them on draft at the local places, and we've got a few of them in inventory that we're going to be reviewing. Just because when they showed up at the bottle shop, I grabbed a bunch of them because I didn't know if they would be back. Just the way we see beer here. But it's very interesting to hear that they're a self-distributing company.
Yeah, that is interesting, and not necessarily surprising given if they're going to self-distribute, they can branch out further.
Yep.
Just trying to look at is appreciate the can art. And that's what brought it to my attention was right there on the screen, Ben, that you got the pin.
Yep.
What do you
Oh,
think that
what does
says?
that
What do you think
say?
that say?
Okay, hold on. This will be the one time that we probably have ever done this. What do we have there?
Hopped up.
I
What do you
mean,
think?
That's awesome.
that's very interesting. So
Safe to say they're fans.
I think
No,
that
it's
is
not safe to say.
safe to say at this point.
I think Ben will increase his rating by half a point.
Yeah.
I do like the can art and the eyeballs being cans.
Yeah, and in the background, the brewing ton.
Yep.
Yep. And I think
Post-apocalyptic type of vibe.
yeah, thinking back on the other that we have, I don't know of any others that are the post-apocalyptic type can art.
Oh, you're talking about the Martin House?
Yeah, I don't think we
that
have
we
at
have
least
yet.
any others that we have in inventory. So may not be a.
This is the only one I picked out that I looked at to research. So, well, even if I had, I don't look at the cans.
So, do we know anything about Cellarman and what his revenge is at this point? No.
Their website was not giving a lot of information.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Anybody ever had this one?
Have you had any variant of it, Jay?
I was looking through that. There's so many of them. I do not believe I have.
All right. Why don't you go first for us, Jay, Mr. IPA?
You're so lovely. Thank you. Yeah, to me, it's you can definitely tell it's a Mosaic IPA that comes through. It's a single hop. It could probably be a little fresher. That's partly our fault with the amount of inventory that we've had. It's an okay IPA. For the American style, I definitely drink it again. I don't know that I might seek it out just for the novelty of the can and to try and see if they have the different variations. But I don't know that I'd necessarily go back to the Mosaic if that's all they had. So all that said, I'll probably give this one 7.5. I mean, it's still a good beer, but not the tops up there with me.
All right. Andy, what do you think?
I'm thinking back to what do we have recently that was we were trying to determine why it tasted a certain way, and we were like, was it a Mosaic hop? What beer was that? And it was I don't know. Was it a recent one, or was I just watching the Hopped Up Beer TV?
I don't know, but that's a nice plug.
Yeah. And I think when you go one hop, you got to get it right. We've had one or other beers that are one hop, like Citra, also, but I think going straight Mosaic, it just doesn't. It's not as satisfying as some of the others to me. So I really wish I could try another one of the Cellarman's Revenge with the different hop, with the different hop. It tastes, it tastes strong, and it is got that a bit of that bitter, and it's unmistakable. It's an IPA, but it's got a little sweetness to it, I think, because of that 8%. So, this is another one where I'm on the fence about, because I want to give it its due for being in an IPA, but then just to suit my personal taste, it smells great, but I'll give it a 7. Yeah. I was between a 6.5 and a 7. I'm going to give it a solid 7. I think the more sips I have, but that sweet at the end really saves it. Because if it was all just that one hop bitterness without the sweet, it would have been lower for me.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I think there's a couple of things in here. We've seen a lot of breweries that they try some of these one hop type variations. And there's some that really excel at it. I mean, you look at other half and they'll do all Citra everything, all Nelson everything. I was trying to think back if they have one that's an all Mosaic. I'll have to go back and look, but
we did the double Mosaic Dream. So,
yeah.
But that was also, I don't know what else they did, because that was a hazy. Oh, they double dry hop. That's what's
double dry hop.
They double dry hopped.
Yeah,
and I think
that would be the difference. We cut the bitter out of this. So yeah. Sorry, Ben. I didn't mean to jump ahead of you.
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter.
All good. Yeah, the whole flash, not the IPA guy. I think this one, the bitter comes out for me. It's the first thing I noticed. It still lingers even after, half a beer. Obviously it's going to calm down a bit as I, kind of get used to drinking it. But at the same time, just having that Mosaic, as you guys have said, is really, I think, limiting here, especially for somebody like me that doesn't really care for bitter. So this one, I wanted this one to be better because of the can art, especially after we saw the little, pin here that we talked about, and because it's a really big can. Like if I got to drink a really big can, I want it to be a little bit better.
It's like,
it's okay. Yeah, it's okay. It's not IPAs being my least favorite style. It's one of those that I'll drink, but I don't ever have to have again. I'll log it on Untappd and then, move on. I think really that really interesting thing that, we have mentioned is just the fact that they use different hop variety here within this series. And they don't tell you anywhere on the can except for the stamp on the bottom. It says Mosaic on the bottom, so that's how we know.
Yeah, but if you look around the rim of the bottom, around the very rim of the bottom, no. There you go. For hop variety, look at underneath.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. But it tells you on the very bottom of the can. So I don't know that I've ever seen another beer like that where, I mean, you guys may have, but I don't remember seeing a beer where it could be different based on the simple can, but the hop is different and it points you to the bottom. So I think that's somewhat interesting. Maybe somewhat confusing too, if you don't notice it when you're buying the beer to begin with. So all in all, again, not one I have to have again. Like the can art, I think it's super cool. Definitely like what appears to be a hopped up button. But they're not going to like my score, I don't think. I'm going to give it a 5. I think it's worth trying if you like IPAs, if you like bitter IPAs, or typically like a Mosaic hop in a beer and you're familiar with that. I think it's definitely worth grabbing if you can grab the Mosaic variety. But if you're like me and IPA is not your favorite style, especially don't like bitter, I think it's probably one you can either get one to try, just to log it, or you can move on and skip it. That is going to be a 6.5 for the Cellarman's Revenge from Martin House Brewing Company out of Fort Worth, Texas. Definitely, if you see one of these out in the wild, you've got to check the bottom to see which hop variety you're going to be receiving. So keep that in mind if you're out checking it. Again, this was the Mosaic variety for us, and that is what we were rating on. Definitely appreciate you checking out this video. If you've made it this far, be sure to like, subscribe, cheers that notification bell. We would definitely appreciate that. It is free to do, and you're going to help us get to our goal of 500 subs by the end of 2025.
Still pushing
that. That's on my list here from corporate of things to push. The next thing to push is Hopped Up TV. It is a re-recording or re-releasing or playback, what's the right word I'm looking for there, of our old reviews, 24/7 live stream. You can chat if anybody else is watching it with you. You can chat with anybody right there on YouTube, but it is just a random scrolling of our previous videos.
Start chatting. Why are we watching this?
Yeah, that may very well be what you want to say. But, you know, it's great if you're bored or can't sleep. It will cure both of those, I am sure. And you can just put that on the background in the middle of the day and just let it roll. And we'll pick out what you watch next of our reviews. So it's a great way to consume Hopped Up Beer Review. Other than that, we got a bunch of links down below in the description. I'm not going to go through those. You can go check them out yourselves. Yep, all that kind of stuff. For Andy in the attic and Jay, I am Ben. Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates.